Hello, Ice here, Riven, the sequel to Mist. So, apparently last time, as I wrote in the description, there was a bit of a miscommunication with the clue that I was given. While I had been willing to entertain the idea that the fish was not the right answer for the first one a couple of videos ago, and so I had been trying other things, in my mind it was still like my answer because I thought it was still the most likely one. But the last thing in the video I had clicked was this one, and so the clue was actually this one's not correct. So we cleared that up, and I think I was least confident in that one anyway. So I think I would have spent last video doing pretty similar things in the absence of a clue. But anyway, the actual thing we need to solve is just which one of these is the frog. It's apparently not this one. I can't really think of anything to do other than just keep trying what I think looks the most frog-like. It would be a lot more satisfying if this puzzle was gonna end with some new flash of insight that would enable me to pick the correct combination. But I think I just start trying things. Like maybe this is a frog. Maybe it's not. Are you perhaps a frog? No? I do have the correct thing selected for the second one, right? Yeah, it's that one. All right. You could be a frog. Oh. Wait, did I just click too many? Did I not cancel enough? I clicked too many. Oops. Well. Gotta input that one again then. It was, this one, I think? I mean, I could just be going systematically, but let's at least try to pick things I think look vaguely like a frog. Could be this. I could see this as being a leg that's poised to hop, and this as being the weird, like, bulbous eyes that frogs have. I've lost my mouse. Okay, so this wasn't like a door to a hideout, but it was some sort of vault. Why is it all burned? Or maybe this is a door to a hideout? How'd they get this powered though? Or am I trapped in a trap book? Have I screwed up? I just clicked the edge of this picture, thinking maybe the way it was burned, the picture could be like taken out of the book. Well, we can still go back. I'm gonna save. All right. I just wanted to take the book, but I can't seem to close it. Nor can I like remove the image from it in order to like try to graft it into the book that's inside the incinerator at Gen's lab or something. Plus, I'm pretty sure these books have writing in them. Alright, so what happens if I actually click here? We seem to actually be somewhere. I wasn't sure if I was looking at the trap book. Are we dead? Yeah, I went backwards first to see if that was just the way back out. Sure do see a black screen right now. Oh. Hello? Empty bowl? We are locked in jail? Something? I'm gonna assume the game can be continued from this state, and that I didn't, like, make an irreparable mistake just by going back for a book when our explicit objective is to look for a book. Oh, I've lost mouse. Okay, that just backs up. I mean, logically, it would make sense if I couldn't actually do anything from this position. Like if I'm just waiting. Oh, I lost mouse again.
Katarina e now da saya palo. Yapa ay manay yalepo. Mio tisay. Bekaretere wirape yelo kene falapo. Tisay. Why te fulupe?
I wonder if that means anything. Like, is it a real language? Oh, I've actually obtained items. I linked to Riven a week ago. The smell of the place overwhelmed me moments before I could see anything. With my sight only partially cleared, I stood motionless, peering ahead through a dim veil, which was slowly lifting. There was a violent something clang, and something appeared. I can't read it. Something ending in RS. I remember breathing slowly and very deeply, tasting the familiar Riven air, but not recognizing a thing. I must have been hit with the dart right away. I thought it was an insect bite at first. I'm trying to remember it all, but it's difficult, maybe because of the drug. There was a voice. A man I did not recognize stood before me. Something. River mirror or something? I don't know. Though he was wearing Oni dress, He seemed to be talking to me, but the poison was already taking effect. A shadow crept in and I fell asleep. Then there were the many voices, but I understood none of them. Like hundreds of people whispering I couldn't make out, or make up. No matter, the dream did end, and now to be here with probably a name. It's been too many years. I didn't realize how much I missed her, like a piece of me that I had forgotten. Can't make it out. She's beautiful and so full of warmth, but the years have also left her with a wound which was not there when we were children. I do wish she were more interested. It seems like, oops. I can't move this out of the way. Oh, but I can turn to the next page. Anyway, this is a note from Catherine. I wrote quickly from my prison. Something will return your book, which the Noyety intercepted upon your arrival. After questioning her, I've concluded it was written by Atris for a very specific purpose. Gen will desire to use it, although he may have suspicions. If you can find my prison, you will still need the combination to release me. Gen keeps it in his office. Then, I assume, we're to signal Atris. I think I know how it might be done, but don't signal him before I am released. Okay, and then this view, the paper's been moved. Okay, it seems like I'm asking all the questions. It's answered. It's awkward. No. Okay, this is the G coming down. No one asks me where I've been or what I've been doing. This hurts, but I understand it. Their beliefs are from ignorance and depression. They are a gentle people. They've had their nest destroyed, and now they frantically cling to anything that might save them. But why have they chosen to cling to me? I'm confused. As a child, I always felt out of place here. I never belonged. They misunderstood me, and I couldn't relate to them. But now, I'm overwhelmed by an intense feeling that I owe everything to them and this place. I thought I would never see them again, and yet I'm here. I've been given this second chance. But a second chance at what? Saving them? Fulfilling their prophecies? Being their savior? The Noyety, Atris would want me to chronicle all that I've learned. I can at least record some of it. It seems that when Atris and I trapped Gen on Riven many years ago, our efforts were witnessed by most of the inhabitants here. 2 of the Rivenese even witnessed the confrontation with Gen at the fissure, where I linked back to Mist, and where Atris threw himself into the abyss. Of course, they understood little of what they were seeing, but they somehow were able to guess that we had won. That Gen was no god at all, but only a feeble impostor, a false god, and that we had trapped him here on Riven. I always hoped they would deduce this simple truth, but their further conclusions have astonished me. Atris had stripped Gen of his power, therefore Atris must be a true god. As a god, he was choosing me, the spiritual misfit from a Rivenese womb, to be his wife. I was transcending into deity and would lord over Riven forever. Thus the Noyety, as they call themselves, were something? A dissident society, sworn enemies of Gen. I did not know their beliefs regarding Atris and myself until 2 days ago. Something was, for some reason, assistant to tell me? What? Hesitant, not assistant. And that's probably, I think, a name. I called it out earlier, was a name. I can't figure out why. I know she doesn't believe these things. Of course, everyone else assumed that I would be aware of my own god status, so they made no effort to inform me. I only realized that at a recent gathering to which I was invited. I've sat at the front of a dimly lit and crowded cave as they told a mythical story of my own life, acting out the battle between Atris, myself, and Gen at the edge of the fissure. The events had been exaggerated into grandiose proportions. It was offensive, but I was unable to stop it. I was unable to break the illusion, which is the very foundation of their hope and purpose, and which has given them courage to band together and rebel against Gen. Since then, I've something of other doctrines and beliefs. What would it be? I wonder if this would be more readable if cursive was still taught and regularly used. Or if some of the handwriting is just difficult. Anyway, I think I'm gonna give up on this word here. And beliefs that have evolved, the most disturbing of which is the conviction that one day I would return to Riven to free them. Some believe I will overthrow Gen, others believe I will bring them to paradise. I don't know how to deal with this. I fight it myself. I love these people, my only real kindred, but they will not love me as an equal, which hurts me. I would rather be their slave than their master. How long is this? Oh boy. Well, let's go back to where we were. Okay, I mean, we've got time. Over the years, as Gen's power has become greater and greater, the Noieties' numbers have grown and they have become more and more adept at hiding themselves. They now live in a complex network of caves that he still has not discovered. The Noity, for the most part, have completely severed their relationships with any of the Rivenese that chose against joining them, but I hope they're not sacrificed vital limbs? What? Hope they've not sacrificed vital limbs in order to remove the cancer. I think it makes more sense reading this as a V than an R. Anyway, even Father and another name, presumably, are still on the surface in Gen's domains. And I long to see them, but dimness shrouds that name that keeps repeating face every time I've mentioned them. Since this break took place, they have interfered with the surface in superficial ways, occasionally sabotaging one of Gen's constructions, or stealing food from the villagers. They wear strange masks and costumes during their short forays to the something surface. Yeah, I can't make it out. And they take this, unsure, very seriously though. Refusing to be seen by anyone outside the Noity unless they are properly attired. Oh, maybe that's regalia back here. Where was I? Okay, they get much something pleasure out of the fact that those on the surface are frightened by their costumes, calling them evil spirits or ghosts. It was during one of these expeditions that they fortuitously rescued me from one of Gen's guards when I first appeared on the island. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have been delivered to Gen immediately. I've no doubt that he's now searching for me. Of course, I am now aware that I was fooled. Atris is not here. I was at first devastated by this revelation. Now I am thankful. He would be in extreme peril here. Also, there is a quiet inner voice, an echoing remnant that wants him far away. I have witnessed an age dying, either gasping or grasping its last breath. Today I ventured to the surface to see what has become of this island. I hoped it would not be as bad as the Noity had reported. It was worse. They have become slowly accustomed to its steady decay, but I was devastated. Something from which the lips from which the kiss is wrought, has fallen. Words will fall cold breath. The womb from which the cry released has suffered hurt, will suffer death. It sounds very much like a poem, especially with how it's spaced. But anyway, to get to the surface, we had to travel through a complex series of doors and passages. Before the last of these doors, they offered me a weapon, which I accepted, and then a mask. I held the mask in my hands for a while, wondering what sort of terror it might invoke in those members of my family who still live on the surface, but I also knew I must keep my identity hidden from Gen's ever-vigilant eye, so I accepted it as well. Then, together, we swore a short... wait, it's probably not swore. Swam a short expanse and emerged, not energized, out of the surface of the ocean under a rocky overhang. The brisk sunlight made my eyes sting, but the fresh, rich air was exhilarating after the past weeks in the dank cave. The two men with me were silent, communicating only with hand signals. The three of us emerged from our hiding place and made our way to the top of the plateau. At the edge of a thick and overgrown area of the forest, they stopped, peered through the foliage for a moment, and then turned to me as if awaiting my command. But could not... I feel like we're missing a word here. It looks like it says, but could not respond. And then, in fact, I found it difficult to move. I was smelling, hearing, and breathing my youth. This swept over me in a matter of seconds, but in seconds more, all feeling was gone. There was numbness. We did not stay long on the surface, but it was enough to see the worst. Riven, which was once one island, has split apart into 5 distinct pieces, about a half a mile apart. 4 of these have been claimed by Gen as his exclusive domain. Only his... something and personal militia are ever allowed to access them. I see like MI and then maybe an N and then an I and then T and then an ERS. Oh, ministers, perhaps. From my vantage point at the edge of the forest, I could see 3 of these islands. They are stripped of their former beauty and are riddled with Gen's self-absorbed constructions. The Noyati rarely visit these closely guarded places. There's another island which I could not see, as it had evidently crept away to a terrific distance. The Noiti are very unclear as to what exists on this island, except for the fact that they know is where the Great Tree used to exist. The forest is located on the islands that the surface dwellers and the Noiti still refer to as Riven, but they also still refer to their entire world as Riven. This island is where the village is, which has changed dramatically. It is also the one remaining province of the people, though Gen's influence can be seen everywhere. So diagrams of the islands. Of course, I know the reason for the fracturing of the island. The Noiti do not. Gen wrote this place, and it will die, as all of Gen's ages eventually die. I feel nothing today. I am nothing. I live in a cave on a dying world inhabited by people that... And then cuts off, there's just a dash. They are treating me so strangely. They don't know how to relate to a god. I'm still an outcast here. They whisper amongst themselves. What? Talking of my bravery during my excursion to the surface. How I walked across the island, bold and unafraid. They don't know me. Even that repeating name is uncomfortable around me. At times there's no awkwardness, and I am only Catran to her, but other times I am something else. I'm afraid. There's such a something numbness inside me. Yeah, I can't make it out. Today I do not feel closeness with my people. Neither am I offended by their worship of me. I do not hate Gen. I don't feel anything. I'm not even sure of something blank. At least Nella is still close. I'm boiling. I am... Gen is making and writing books. I wish they had told me sooner. Atris should have realized this would happen, of course. Gen would have written all of the materials necessary to the Denis craft of making books into this age, and probably every other age he ever wrote. He is attempting to write his way out of here. We did not imprison him. We only delayed him. This age has become his factory, and the people are his machines, all laboring in his mad pursuit to become a god, to carry on his... something. Denis cause. Noble? I think it's the word noble. So far, he has not been able to produce a fully functional book. Atris has never believed in destiny, but I don't know what else I can call it. It's too perfect. It's too much of a coincidence. They hang on my every word, though they do not understand them. I am their hope, and now I have returned. I owe this to them. There is no choice. Some sort of mechanism? Oh, wait, this is one of the puzzles I haven't solved. It's been a long time since my last entry. It's hard to recognize. Yeah, but I have found the Starfisher. It is located on the island, which the Rivenese call Alapo, meaning water pool, but which is referred to by the Noiti as Alatwam, meaning pool of stars. Having once allowed Atris to escape this age without leaving an open door behind us, it has since been sealed with a skin of heavy iron. A crude telescope has been mounted over a locked viewport, the combination to which was acquired by the Noiti before my arrival. That's 15525, it looks like. I didn't actually refer to my notes though, so maybe that's wrong. It says stop for some reason. In the early days, the Noity, seeking an escape from Riven, briefly pursued the idea of reopening the fissure. They discovered a small mechanical stop to prevent the scope from hitting the portal window. Ultimately, however, they decided against opening it. I hate to think what would have happened to them if they had not left it alone. I've instructed them to stay away from it. I'm almost certain that, with the decayed state of the islands, opening the fissure now would be disastrous. I have heard that in the days immediately following Gen's confinement on Riven, he attempted to determine the feasibility of navigating the stars beneath the fissure, where he had seen the mist book fall from Atris's hand into the very same space. To this end, he would have people, alleged transgressors of the law, be thrown into it so that he could observe their fate. The telescope, which still stands there, is one he had built for these something callous experiments. It is said that they did not die, but what became of them remains a mystery. It appears that the limits of Gen's optics prevented him from it's some synonym for learning or observing their fate. Yeah, I can't actually read that. I see like ARNING, but the first letter is not clear to me. Maybe it's 2 letters? Anyway, the star field beneath the fissure is not as it seems. It is a gentle space, as hospitable to life as a flowing river. This is how Atris explained it after he had fallen into it, but much more than that, we've never understood, and we were never able to conclude upon its origins, but the visions tell me that it was born out of the will of the Maker, perhaps for some greater purpose that we cannot yet understand. I still remember Atris's words from his journal. I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse. There must be some greater reason behind it. I neglected to mention it earlier. The unique shape of one of the great daggers which appeared during our escape from Riven, the very dagger that stands vertically at one end of that island name, has been adopted by the Noity as the symbol of their cause. It is a sacred symbol for them. It is the representation of all of their doctrine and their representation of me. To deface this symbol is sacrilege. They have their own mythical explanation regarding its sudden origins. I haven't told them that I wrote it into this age, along with all the other daggers. Why do you do that? It's strange how such a young religion can be so unbending, even to their own god. I have tried to dissuade them of the notion that symbols contain so much power. The enemy uses this something against them. Yeah, that ends completely unreadable to me. It looks like there's 3 or 4 letters there. Anyway, they are fearful of Gen's symbol and are terrorized by his symbolic use of the wark. Oh, that's how it's spelled. WAHRK. I think someone on Discord already said that. Anyway, they don't want to hear this from me, but they don't. Perhaps my attempts have even caused some of the younger members of the Noity to doubt that I am Catherine. My rare encounters with those who say they follow Gen have been discouraging. I have hoped to have some communication with the surface villagers, but they always flee from me. But I have heard of some of the villagers' beliefs regarding Gen. Soon after we trapped Gen on Riven, he claimed that he was responsible for the daggers, placing them around the island as a reminder of their failure. In the village circles, it is told that this was a punitive act performed by Gen to mark the beginning of a period of restitution, at the end of which, if they have proven their devotion to him, they will be delivered unto a new and better existence. I will continue to try to reach them. The door is open. Gen is free. What? Maybe that's just a comma, not another is. The door is open, Gen is free. Gen has the ability to create working books. In fact, he had written one age before I arrived, but has kept this accomplishment so well hidden that only his closest ministers were aware until now. I'm not sure, perhaps he has written others. Other news, a few years ago, before the Noity were forced into hiding, one of them managed to steal what appeared to be a test book that Gen had intended to destroy. It had been partially written, but did not work. They didn't tell me about it until now because they thought it was useless. Back then, none of Gen's books worked, but instead of correcting the problem at its source, he blamed it on the impure wood of the Riven forest and proceeded to experience a it's probably not experience, engineer a cumbersome mechanical remedy, a complex series of domes to heal his books' inherent flaws. One of the consequences of this crude solution, however, was that the domes demanded huge amounts of energy, and the related problems delayed his success for quite some time. Okay, so normal books don't actually require a lot of energy. At last, however, he finished his work and was finally able to link to an age, but he kept his success extremely well hidden. However, for some reason or another, belligerent pride, perhaps? Or rather, it doesn't say perhaps, but there's a question mark. He has made modifications to the domes which make it obvious that his the domes to breathe life into his half-dead books. Make it obvious that I'm not sure. Anyway, perhaps he means to lure us into using the books in the domes. He can't believe that we would blindly swallow this suicidal fact, but he wouldn't know that we have one of his books. The stolen, burnt book. There's a possibility of apparently nothing because it crossed out. Have read burnt book. Age it descripts would be unsuitable as new home for the Noity. Must be modified. I will dream. Have requested a group to solve combination that will open the domes. Once open, we can power the burnt book. I do not think Gen will interfere. He will leave the bait. Okay, interesting. Have began writing the Noity's age. Now we must acquire second book from Gen. There's tension. A strain blurs my vision and nightmares. Something and okay, two people's names. Stay close. Not quite sure what's going on here. Looks like a person is doing something to one of the daggers to zap something down below, and I know there's some kind of robot. It goes on. Oh wow, we're beyond 40 or almost to 40 minutes. Are we like I think I'll just continue the book next time. All right. Yeah.